There is one other little thing that I wanted to talk about too, because I feel like this is kind of an important issue, not just for me, but for many people. But I, if anybody has read my books, they know that I've said certain things. I've said, about how I had ideas about adopting someday, adopting some child, and that I would even marry somebody who had kids already. I mentioned it on my first book I published, and I was talking with my friend Tasha about that recently at her house, and I've really been thinking about certain things lately, and see, in my mind, like my mind is very clear about like my vision for how I want my life to go. And the thing is, I mean, I know that I wouldn't want to be a single parent. Like I feel like if the circumstances were right and I was in a relationship, kind of like an asexual marriage, you know what I mean? That there was going to be somebody with me to be the other parent. In that circumstance, I could adopt somebody. Or if I ended up marrying somebody who already had kids, I still feel like I'd be willing to do that. But of course that's a long-term future goal. I mean, I feel like I first have to establish myself, in my life and my identity and job-wise and financial-wise, and there's a lot of things that I want to take care of long before I worry about, relationships and adopting children and stuff like that. But it is something I think about. I do think about it, and I don't talk about it much because, as I've expressed before, I am relatively happy just staying single forever. You know what I mean? Because obviously I don't need a relationship like what other people look for. I'm not looking for sex. I'm going to be a virgin for life. I'll be sure of that, especially if I have the surgery I want. But there's something to relationships. It's not just sex that people's marriages involves. I used to think that was only it, that people only had boyfriends and girlfriends and got married just for sex, so that they could have sex legally, without the religious people persecuting them. That's what I used to think. But now my opinion has evolved slightly, and I hope it's okay for me to mention this, but when I see my dance teacher and her husband, and I see how they get along, and I see how they work as a team, and how her husband helps her with her dance teaching business, and when I see them together, I get kind of jealous. You know what I mean? Like when I see people, and because here's the thing is, there's to me. Okay, basically, here's what my perspective is that people who are really best friends, like the best of the best friends, that they're together forever. It's like a fairy tale thing, they live happily ever after. And I know the real world doesn't work out like Disney movies. But my vision for my future, even like my wildest dreams, is nothing like Disney movies, because there's no kissing, there's no sex, there's no having biological children, all the things that heterosexual people do, but that something kind of makes me sad. I've realized that I've had very few friends in my life, very few good friends. I mean, look, I have a lot of Facebook friends, but it's not the same thing. You know that, I've had only a few people that really mean a lot to me, and probably less than 10. Probably less than 5, actually, And, but people who have been really good friends, and yet I fear losing my friends, the ones that I still have, because sometimes over little disagreements, I mean, I have a friend that we disagree on vaccination, and I was afraid that would ruin our friendship, but no, it hasn't. So that's good to know, and and there are friends that I've known since many years ago, and I've always been afraid of losing them, due to religious difference, like how do you work out a friendship when you're an atheist and your friend is a Christian and you think that they're delusional, they think you're delusional? How do you work that out? And that's the problem I have with my mom too, because, we don't really understand each other, and I wish I knew how to communicate with my mom in a way that she would understand, but I don't understand her, she doesn't understand me, and furthermore, I tend to avoid getting attached to people, and here part of it is, even if I have other friends that I enjoy hanging out with, well, they move far away, and it's hard to maintain a long distance relationship of any kind. Or, they'll end up getting a boyfriend or a girlfriend and get married and have kids, and then they'll forget about me. And I just feel like no matter who I am or how good I try to be in my life, I feel like I'm always second place. Always second place. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, well, Chandler, you've been my friend for a while, but hey, there's this sexy person over there that I want to marry, so screw you. I got a phone call. Hello? Hello?
Hi, this is Tessa from Dr. Moss's office.
Oh, hi there.
Hi, I'm calling because you got the message that you wanted to be set up.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I called,
You're on Saturday.
yeah, I called on Saturday after my dance teacher gave me the number. So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, your dance teacher was like, hey, just to let you know.
Hey.
And if it doesn't, we'll find another date, but as of right now, just pencil it in.
Yeah, okay, I can try to contact her. I have a little bit of time before I have to leave for work. Maybe I can reach her. We'll see. Otherwise, I'll just
Well,
have...
it's until the 17th, so, you got a week or so.
Right, yeah, we have a little bit of time to figure it out, so thank you.
I have that, and I have, as of right now, the same time on Friday the 19th. So the 17th and the 19th are on the same time. But they fill up quickly, so.
Right, yeah, I
Let
imagine.
me know.
Okay, so thanks, and I'll let you know what I find out as soon as I'm able.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay,
All right, well, it's nice talking to you, Chandler. I'll talk to you soon.
okay, bye.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now that was a very important phone call. That was actually this doctor that I called. Well, it was like her secretary, but so anyway, back to my original topic because I still remember. But basically, I guess my fantasy about what a relationship is like is where somebody is your friend and they stick by you for life. Sort of a till death do us part. Like people in their wedding vows and their marriage. Like, I like that idea of commitment. A lot of people like that idea of commitment. And it doesn't matter whether it's a legal marriage or whether it's a civil union or just a commitment that friends make that, we'll be together forever. It's that idea of that commitment that I think is lacking in our society. And I think that is what I'm jealous of. People who have somebody who will stick by them and, in sickness and health and until death do us part and all that stuff. I think there is something beautiful about that. And I say this as, an asexual virgin who's vowed celibacy for life. I used to think that people just made a bunch of vows like that and they were just lying the whole time because they just really wanted sex. And I think a lot of people are like that. But I think maybe some people actually mean it. And I can tell when they do. When I see couples and I see how they are, I can tell whether they're committed or not. Sometimes they don't even know if they're committed or not, because people split up and go their separate ways over the most trivial of issues, and it's very sad. And that's what I have to say about that. Well, anyway, I have phone calls to make. I have a lot to do. So that's my little speech for right now.